Proverbs 11:29. He who troubles his own house will inherit the wind, and the fool will be servant to the wise of heart. One of the recurring themes all throughout Scripture is the firstborn who's replaced by the second or the last or whatever. One of the first instances of that is with Cain and Abel and Seth. Cain was the firstborn, but he clearly troubled his house. He hated his brother and even murdered him. And Cain's place in the family was taken over by Seth, his younger brother, who was born after that incident. Again, later, Jacob and Esau. Esau was the firstborn and had the right to inherit as the firstborn. He was going to take over as the leader of the family, but he didn't follow his parents' advice. He married pagan women. He caused all kinds of heartache for his parents. And he foolishly threw away his inheritance. He didn't value it as he should have. If he had valued his inheritance, he would have honored his parents. But he refused to honor his parents, and he lost everything that should have been his, and Jacob took his place as firstborn. It happened again with Reuben. Reuben was Jacob's firstborn, and he would have inherited the double portion. He would have been the family leader, but he didn't want to wait. He tried to usurp his father's place while his father was out of town. He even slept with one of his father's wives, not his own mother. That would have been a capital offense. Well, Reuben is lucky that he was not killed, that he wasn't expelled from the family altogether, that he only lost his place as the firstborn, and he was replaced by both Judah and Joseph. Judah took the role as the family leader. Joseph took the double portion blessing. Later, the same thing would play out repeatedly in David's family. David's firstborn son was Amnon. Amnon, just like Reuben before him, committed a sexual sin. He raped his own sister. He certainly brought trouble on his own household, and he was killed by his younger brother Absalom. And then, in turn, Absalom rebelled against his father, again following in the footsteps of Reuben, and slept with multiple concubines of David. And he did this in order to cement his place as David's replacement, as the new king. And what he only really accomplished was to cement his fate. Absalom was killed too, and he was replaced by his younger brother Solomon. Over and over in Scripture, inheritance is based on not just your place of birth, but your moral standing. One of the commandments, the fourth commandment, is honor your father and mother, that it may go well with you, and that you may live long in the land. And Paul repeated this commandment to Timothy and pointed out that it was the only one of the 10 commandments that came with a promise. The specific promise that you may live long in the land is about inheritance. Honor your father and mother so that your inheritance will be secure. And it doesn't necessarily just apply to your physical inheritance, the possessions of your parents. It applies to their legacy, to their spiritual heritage. A rebellious child breaks ties with his parents, causes problems in the family, and disrupts the inheritance, the legacy, the spiritual principles that are passed down from one generation to the next. It poisons that well, the spring. If you want to live a happy and long life, if you want to maintain the inheritance of your fathers, if you want to carry on all of the blessings that your fathers received from God, if you want to inherit those things, then you need to honor your parents. You'll live a happier, more prosperous life. You'll be healthier, and you will be ensuring a legacy of your own. It's not just your parents you're honoring, it's your people. It's yourself that you're honoring through honoring your parents. So this is Jake Harper from American Torah. Be blessed, honor your parents, and preserve your own legacy in doing so.